ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः। गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं। परित्यज्य मौनं वटादस्थितिं च व्रजन् भारतस्य प्रदेशात् प्रदेशं मुहुस्यन्ति वाचा जनान् धर्ममार्गेण यन् श्रीजयेन्द्रो गुरुर्भाति चित्ते। नमामः शङ्करान् वाक्य विजयेन्द्र सरस्वतीं श्रीगुरुं शिष्टमार्गानुनेतारम् सन्मतिप्रदं सद्गुरुचरणं Glani means some sufferings for dharma. Yadha yadha hi dharmasya glanihi bhavati. And at that time, I am going to be born. Tadatmanam srijamya. I am going to be born. Now, can you guys hear? Somebody can write in the chat box. Okay. Thank you. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanihi bhavati. At that time, I am going to be born. What am I going to do? Krishna is going to say, I am going to do two things. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. I am going to save dharma. How do you save dharma? How do you protect dharma? Dharma can be protected not by protecting just books. I have volumes and volumes of books called as Dharma Shastra. If I protect those books, will Dharma be protected? No. Dharma will be protected by protecting those people who follow the Dharma. Paritranaya sadhunam. So Dharma will be protected by protecting those people who follow the Dharma, and vinashaya cha dushkrita, by annihilating those people who do not follow the adharma. There are lots of nuances in the shloka which we will see later, but this is how Krishna protects dharma. So that is why the Kurukshetra is called as Dharma Kshetra, because dharma will be protected at the end of this war. And both Pandavas and Kauravas have assembled in the Kurukshetra. All the preparations have already been done. Deliberations have been done. You know, there is this theory now we call it as game theory. What is game theory? It is people will identify pros and cons. Okay, what will happen if process A happens? I need to have backup. What are the pros? What are the cons? They will analyze everything. Not only they will analyze everything, they will also quantify it. They will quantify the outcome of any process with respect to probability. Okay, and then they will arrive at some number and they will process the number crunching. Everything will happen. All these things have already been done. In the case of Mahabharata war, they have already formed alliances. Alliances are very important these days. Even in those days, alliances were important. They have formed lots of alliances. And just like these days, in those days also, quality matters over quantity. Don't think that I'm speaking politics. I'm just speaking Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata. Pandavas have less number. Kauravas had more number of people to fight. Kauravas had more alliances. Pandavas had less alliances. 10 Akshauhinis is the number of alliances for Kauravas. 8 Akshauhinis is the number of alliances for Pandavas. Even though the alliance is low, because they are with the side of Dharma, eventually Pandavas won. The same way, today's election results. And people will have lots of alliances, but whomsoever is present with Dharma, or in whomsoever on who Dharma is present, they will win. Okay. So all those preparations have already been done, and war is going to start at any moment. At that time, Arjuna started having jitters. We have panic attack. You say, right? Arjuna started having jitters. Why? Because he asked Krishna to park his vehicle. Krishna is the Sarathi, Partha Sarathi, right? Krishna is the Sarathi for Arjuna. And Arjuna wanted Krishna to park his car, to park his Ratha. Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechuta. Hey Krishna, hey Achyuta, please park the Ratha in front, in between the Senayoho Ubhayoho Madhye, between the two parties. Why? Because I want to see who I am going to fight against. Krishna there did a great mischief. If Krishna has parked the Ratha in front of Duryodhana, Dussasana, etc., or Karna, the war would have started, and even before Krishna can blink, the war would have ended. Because Arjuna is so much against those people, but Krishna did not do that. Krishna parked the Ratha in front of Bhishma, in front of Drona, in front of Kripa, who are the fathers, forefathers, and teachers of Arjuna. And that is what caused Arjuna to worry. Hey Krishna, how can I fight against these people? I cannot fight against my fathers. Bhishma, he's my grandfather. How can I fight against him? Dronacharya, he's my Acharya. I learned everything from him. How can I fight against him? I cannot fight against him. So Arjuna has this process called as mohaha, delusion. Why? Because he has got a ragaha, attachment. Ragadvesha is the major problem for all of us. Don't think this is only the problem of Arjuna. The context maybe is Arjuna, nimitta. No, the Bhagavad Gita is revealed having Arjuna as just a nimitta, but not Arjuna as the karana. We all are the karana for Bhagavad Gita. Whenever we have problem, if we analyze why do we have this problem, the problem comes because we have got a raga and dvesha. That is kama and krodha. Kama means attachment. Not just any attachment, but blinding attachment. We will discuss about the various facets of kama later. But we all have this problem of blinding attachment, and the attachment will not just stay as is. Krishna says in Gita, he talks about a cycle. Yayato Vishayan Pumsaha Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodo Bijayate क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. If you have kama, you will have krodha. If you have krodha, you will have moha. If you have moha, you will have smriti vibhramaha. When you forget what you have learned, buddhinashaha, your intellect will be lost. And when your intellect is lost, it is as good as being dead. We all have this problem of kama krodha, that is raga dvesha. So Arjuna is afflicted by this moha, which happens because of kama. Moha means delusion. Kama is attachment. What is the attachment of Arjuna? He is attached to the bodies of Bhishma, Drona, etc. What is the moha, delusion of Arjuna? Arjuna does not want to fight the war, which is his duty, by the way. So when I have kama krodha, when I'm afflicted by delusion, I will do whatever I want to escape from whatever I have to do. Escapist mentality will be there. And not only the escapist mentality will be there, we will try to find reasons to escape. We will never agree, hey, I don't want to do this. Why? Because I have kama. Because I have attachment, I don't want to do this. Because I have ahankara and mamakara. What is kama? It is ahankara and mamakara. Me, ahankara, mine, mamakara. I have ahankara and mamakara. That is why I am going to do this. We will never tell that. What do? We'll try to find reasons not to do. And that reasons will be convincing. And if we think about it, we will never try to convince ourselves. We will try to convince others. We are already convinced, we think. But we are never convinced. We will try, see, this is the trait that we all will have. We'll make a decision. And we will keep on convincing others that, hey, that decision I have made is correct. Whenever we do this, we can easily think that, okay, the decision what you have made, you have to rethink it. Because the moment you are convinced of a decision, the moment you think, hey, whatever the decision I have made is correct, we don't have to convince others that, okay, whatever the decision I have made is right. But whenever we have doubts, hey, what I have made is correct or not? What do other people think of my decision? You have to rethink your decision. What do? We keep on convincing others. Others have no role whatsoever to play on your decision. But you go and try to convince them, hey, this is the decision I have made. This is why I have made this decision. It is none of their business. In fact, they are not even interested in listening to your decision-making process. But we go and we try to convince them. Why? Because you yourself is not convinced. It is at that point of time we can understand that you have got this raga, dvesha problem. It is at that point of time you yourself can understand that, hey, I have this problem of raga dvesha, and we can understand this only when we try to analyze the events in an objective manner. What is objective manner? Subjective and objective. If I put myself in that place, it is subjective. If I think that I have made that decision, it is a subjective thing. You will never question the decision that you have made because you are involved in the decision-making process. What you have to do is you have to take yourself out of that situation. Physically, it is not possible. You cannot take yourself out physically. But you have to, it should be a mental process. Try to, okay, don't think that you are making decision. Somebody else is making decision, whether that decision is correct or not. You have to think. You have to keep on questioning. That is called as objective thinking. And that is what Krishna is going to tell later. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is all about objective thinking, not subjective thinking. And it helps in lots of time, not only in sacred, but even in our day-to-day life. If you have an objective mind, your emotional quotient will be a lot higher. You have to question yourself. You have to question yourself. Right. So Arjuna, because he is afflicted by kama and subsequently moha, he tries to find reasons why this war should not be fought. He had got 13 plus 1, 14 years to make this decision. All those 14 years, Arjuna wanted to fight. Right from his birth, Arjuna wanted to fight. In fact, Arjuna is born a Kshatriya. The role of Kshatriya, the duty of Kshatriya is to fight. And when Kauravas have mistreated Panchali, Arjuna has made a vow to fight those people. He had all this time he wanted to fight. Last minute jitters. Now we are in the war field. Even if Arjuna is going to withdraw from the war, people are going to fight. Because they all have gotten into that mood. Now Arjuna says, hey Krishna, I cannot fight. Do you know why? Because when I fight, all the people are going to die. All these people are male people. They are going to die. And when people are going to die, their wives will be widowed. Their sons and daughters will be fatherless. And if father is not there in the family, they are going to do whatever they want. It is bad, Sankaro narakayaiva kulagnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hyesham lupta pindodaka kriyaha. If all the sons are dead, who will do karma to their fathers? We have to do tarpanam. Right. If people who are in the war field, they are died, how can they do Amavasya Tarpanam? They cannot do Amavasya Tarpanam. They cannot do Shraddha to their parents. If Shraddha to their parents are not done, how can the parents will get Shreyas? So we should not fight. On top, this looks like a very valid argument. But what is being forgotten is the dharma of Kshatriya. Krishna is later going to remind Arjuna, hey Arjuna, if a Kshatriya dies in a war field, it is not only going to be Shreyas for him. Dasha Purvesham, Dasaparesham, whenever we do this Kannika Dhanam, the person who does Kannika Dhanam, the shloka comes 10 generations before you, 10 generations after you will get Swargaloka when you do Kandikada. The same way, when a person dies, when a Kshatriya dies in a battlefield, 10 generations before him, 10 generations after him will go to Swargaloka. No need to do Shraddha. Shastra says. But Arjuna, what he does? He conveniently forgets this fact. He conveniently forgets his Varna Dharma, his Swadharma. And he's just cherry picking whatever that are needed. So, Patanti Pitaro Hesham Lukta Pindodaga Kriya. Who will do Pinda Kriya? Pinda is rice ball. Udaka is water. You know, when you do Tarpana Shraddha and all, you will keep some cooked rice ball. You will pour some water and sesame seeds on it. So the Pinda goes to the Pitrus. Right? Who will do that? Asks Arjuna. And then he says, Doshairetaihi kulagnanam varnasankara karakaihi उत्साद्यन्ते जाति धर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः सन्न कुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम. Hey Krishna, if I die, I mean, if all the people die in the war field, it will lead to varna sankaraha. Varna sangaram. Oh, the population of Kshatriyas will be low. So Kshatriya will marry from Brahmana. Kshatriya will marry from Vaishyas. Kshatriya will marry from Shudra. It is called as Varna Sangaram. Intermixing of Varnas. It is bad. I'm not saying, Arjuna is saying, which is also approved by Shastra. Okay. So don't find fault with me. So Varna Sangara will happen. If Varna Sangara will happen, know what happens? Arjuna is teaching Krishna. Utsadhyante jati dharmaha kula dharmascha shashvata. So all the jati dharmas and kula dharma will go away. Brahmana has got certain dharmas. Vaishyas has got certain dharmas. Kshatriyas has got certain dharma. Shudra has got certain dharma. What will happen? If the boy is from Brahmana, girl is from some other Varna, how will you perform marriage? Big question. You all face that. Arjuna has told that and forecasted that lot of years ago in Bhagavad Gita. Utsadhyante jati dharmaha kula dharmascha shashvataha. So all those varna dharmas will go away. Utsanna kuladharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vaso bhavati. So jati dharma and kula dharmas have gone for a walk. What will happen? Again, I'm not telling, Krishna is not telling, Arjuna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. People will go to Naraka. Narake niyatam vasaha. The person who is responsible for the destruction of Kula Dharma, the destruction of Varna Dharma, the destruction of Jati Dharma, they will go to Naraka, which is true according to Dharma Shastra, but it is not applicable in this context. Why? See, the dharma of a Kshatriya is to fight. The person who escapes from dharma will go to Naraka. What Arjuna says, hey Krishna, if I fight, many people are going to die. If all of them are going to die, they are going to be relinquished of their jati dharma. Their families are going to be, their families will relinquish their jati dharma. If their families relinquish their jati dharma, why? Because I fight. So I will be responsible for they falling from their dharma. So I will go to Naraka. But even if he does not fight, what happens? Arjuna is relinquishing his own dharma. What is Arjuna's dharma? Arjuna's dharma is to fight. And if Arjuna does not fight, because Arjuna has relinquished his own dharma, he is going to Naraka. He is going to go to Naraka anyways. That is what on top. That is what, if we analyze these verses with a very shallow mind, it looks like it is a lose-lose situation. Nowadays in management, they call win-win situation, win-lose, lose-win, lose-lose situation. It seems like it is a lose-lose situation, but it is not so. Why? Because when Arjuna does his dharma, he is going to go to Swarga. Not only he is going to go to Swarga, because later Krishna is going to tell exactly these things. It looks like, hey Arjuna, it is a lose-lose situation. No, it is a win-win situation for both. That is going to come later. Let us just see what Arjuna says. Aho bada mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yatrajya sukhalobena hantu sajanamudya. Hey Krishna, I cannot do this, Krishna. Because it is Mahapapam. Aho bada Mahatpapam. Why? Just for my country, just for my land, I cannot cause this huge papam. Yad Rajya Sukhalobena Hantum Svajanamudyata. So I cannot kill my own people. Meaning what? I cannot do my own dharma. Yadimam apratikaram ashastram shastrapanayaha dhardarashtra ranehanyu tanme kshemataram bhavet. So what Arjuna says is that, hey, even if they kill me, yeti maam apratikaram ashastram shastrapaneha dardarashtra ranehanyu tanme. At this situation, I am not going to fight my war. Even if they kill me, it is going to be kshema. That is what Arjuna thinks. But what will happen if Arjuna does not fight the war? And if the Kaurava kills Arjuna, it is going to be a problem for Arjuna. Because Arjuna has relinquished his duty. If a person fights and dies, if a Kshatriya fights the war and dies in the war, he will go to Swarga. Arjuna dies in the war, in this situation. But Arjuna is not fighting. So he is not going to go to Swarga, he will go to Naraka. And when Arjuna does not fight in the war, தமிழ்ல அந்த புறமுதுகிட்டு ஓடுதல் அப்படின்பா. புறநானூறுல எல்லாம் பார்த்தேன்னா அந்த புறமுதுகிட்டு ஓடுதல்ல ரொம்ப இது வரும். அகீர்த்திகர அர்ஜுனான்னு கிருஷ்ணர் சொல்ல போறார். People are going to quote Arjuna, hey, அர்ஜுனனே போருக்கு பயந்து ஓடி போயிட்டாம்பா அப்படிங்க போறான். So this one, the situation that Arjuna is going to take, the decision that Arjuna is going to take, it is going to be a lose-lose situation. Yadimam apratikaram ashastram shastrapaneha dhardarashtra ranehantihu tanme kshemataram bhavet. So what Arjuna does now, Sanjaya Vacha. Sanjaya is telling, so all these are words of Arjuna Vacha. So Arjuna started from the second part of Shloka 28. He goes on till the Shloka 46. Now Sanjaya is telling, Eva Muktva Arjuna Sankhye Rathopastha Upavishat Visrujya Shasharam Chapam Shoka Samvignamanasaha. Having said these things, what Arjuna did, Evam Uktva Arjuna Sankhye Rathopastha Upa. Arjuna was standing all these things. Arjuna told all these things and he sat in the Ratha. Meaning what? I'm not going to fight. Standing means an action. Sitting means inaction. I'm not going to fight. Not only that, what did he say? Visrujya Shasharam Chapam. He kept the bow and arrow. He put the bow and arrow aside. So there are some dharmas for certain people, right? So the dharma for a Kshatriya is that once the war is started, you never keep your bow and arrow aside. That is their dharma. But Arjuna has kept the bow and arrow aside. Meaning what? I'm not going to fight the war. Why? Shoka samvighna manasa. Because he is overcome by sorrow. Shoka. He's so sad. So what happens? First is kamaha. That is ragaha, attachment. That yielded to mohaha. That is delusion. Delusion என்ன திரும்ப திரும்ப பேசுறது சொன்னதையே திரும்ப திரும்ப சொல்றது. Try to find out reasons for your wrongdoing. It is called as moha. And moha turns to shokaha, sorrow. So Arjuna now is in the third step. Iti Shri Om Tathad Iti Shrimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyaya. So this is the first adhyaya called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the sorrow of Arjuna. So there is nothing, no Upadesham in this first chapter. In 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas, the first 47 shlokas, there is no Upadesha. It only tells about the sorrow of Arjuna. And Acharya Bhagavad Pada, that is Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada, has not written a Bhashyam for the first chapter. But later Acharyas have written Bhashyams. And Adi Shankaracharya, he has referred to these shlokas when he starts writing the Bhashyam for, in fact, Shankara Bhashyam is there from chapter 2, shloka number 11. From chapter 2, shloka number 11, the actual Upadesha starts. And when Acharya writes the Bhashyam for the 11th shloka, he just goes around all these shlokas at a very, very higher level, which we will see. You know, when we come to Acharya Bhashya, we will see the Acharya's introduction and we'll also see those things. Because these things, even though there are no Upadesha, we can relate with Arjuna. Whatever the thing that Arjuna goes through in his mind, I'm pretty sure we all would have gone through in our mind. So how to act in those situations is what is going to come in the later chapters. So now we'll start the second chapter. So what happens? Arjuna, so you all have to close your eyes and imagine. So the two senas are present on the either side. In the middle, we have the chariot of Arjuna. Krishna is the driver, pilot for the chariot. Arjuna is sitting with he has left his Gandiva. He has left his bow and arrows. This is the happening at the end of the first chapter. Now, what happens? Sanjaya Vacha. Tantatha kripayavishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha madhusudana. Krishna is doing his duty as the charioteer, not as Bhagavan. Krishna will play two roles in Bhagavad Gita. The first one is the charioteer for Arjuna. The second one is Bhagavan. Right now, Arjuna considers Krishna as his driver, just as his driver. Later, Arjuna himself will tell that. So, the role of the driver in the battlefield is to encourage his master. it will be very funny to call Krishna as driver and Arjuna as a master, but that is what happens. Even Arjuna uses commanding, imperative clause. Senayor Bhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapaya Mechutta. அப்படிதான் சொல்றார். So, hey, Krishna, do this. Imperative தான் சொல்றார் Arjuna. So, Krishna as a very dutiful driver, even though he is Bhagavan, he does not reveal himself as Bhagavan now. He is acting his duty. He is acting out his role. So, he is encouraging Arjuna. Hey, Arjuna, do not do that. Why? Krishna is going to say, Bhagavanu Acha, Kutastva Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Jushtam Aswargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, Kutastva Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupasthitam. From where you are getting all these rejections, negative vibes, in today's words, negative vibes. Why are you spreading such negativity? Why do you have so much negative vibes? From where you are getting all these negative vibes? Kutastva kashmalam idam vishame samupasthitam. Krishna says, hey, three things will happen, Arjuna. Three things will happen. And this is how you will convince somebody. You have to learn how to convince others from Krishna. First, Krishna says Anaryam, Anarya Jushtam. Hey Arjuna, you will never be called as an Arya. Arya is not a race. Arya is not a race. Arya means a person having good qualities. This is not the actions of an Arya. This is not the actions of an Arya. Anarya Jushtam. So Arjuna would have told, so what? Let me be an Anarya. Arya is not an opposite of Dravida. We have to be very, 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 very careful. Arya is opposite of Dravida. It's like computer is opposite of rocket. You cannot compare those things. Dravida is a race. Arya is a quality. So you don't have that quality of Arya, chivalry. Arjuna would say, so what? I don't care. I don't care. And then Krishna says, Aswargyam. Hey, you will not go to Swarga, Arjuna, when you do this. Arjuna would have thought, I don't care. What is going to happen to me if I go to Swarga or if I don't go to Swarga? I will not even know. It is not going to happen now, right? After my death, it is happen. I will face that when I will cross that bridge when it comes. And then Krishna says, Akirtikaram. Hey, people are going to find fault with you, Arjuna. People are going to defame you. You are going to be an infamous person. You are going to be a notorious person. Krishna is going to play this card. This is the trump card for all the Kshatriyas. Because even if there are people who are driven by fame. I don't have money. It is okay. I don't have wealth. It is okay. I don't have people to care for me. It is okay. But I don't have fame. It is a big problem. There are lots of people like that, right? Kshatriyas are like that. Kshatriyas are like that. That is why in Tamil Purananuru, you can find a lot of reference like Puhal, Isai, Abdiba, Tamil. Isai Naduha. You have to be famous. There are people who are famous. Why? Because they are famous. Who are famous for being famous. Right? They don't have any other thing. Why are they famous? Because they are famous, they are famous. Right? Akirtikaram Arjuna, you are, people are going to, it is not going to give you fame. Klaibyam masma gamah partha नतत्वयि उपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्तवोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप हे परन्तप அப்படின்னு சொல்றாரு. The words, how Krishna and Arjuna address each other. You can do many PhDs on this address itself. So first, Krishna is referring Arjuna as Arjuna, just his name. Why? Because Arjuna is very famous for this name. Right? Hey, un peru repera pedungra. In the second verse, Krishna says Parantapa, Tapa, scorcher, burner, Parantapa, enemies, hey, scorcher of enemies. Arjuna, this is not new to you. Fighting, it is not new to you. You are born to fight. Don't think that killing is going to give you papam. If that is true, then you have accumulated lots of papam. Arjuna has gone into lots of war. In whatever the war Arjuna has gone, whatever Arjuna has told before, Varna Sankara, Lupta Pindodaga Kriyaha, all these things have already happened. If you think that only because of this war, all these things are going to happen, it is false. Because you have got this name called as Parantapa. So all these things have already happened, Arjuna. Just with this one name, Krishna is inferring all these things. And Krishna is also saying, hey Arjuna, you have gone for 13 years of Vanavasa and 1 year of Ajnatavasa. You know what is Ajnatavasa? Staying incognito. Incognito. Staying incognito. Private mode. In browser, we have got incognito mode or private browser. Right. You were in incognito mode. And what was Arjuna during Ajnatavasa? Arjuna was an Enach. Brihannala. Arjuna took up the form of a woman. It is the varam/shapam given to Arjuna. When he went to Swargaloka, he got this shapam. He got this as a shapam that he will become a woman. And later it was converted into a varam. And okay, you will become a woman, but whenever you want it. So Arjuna became a woman called as Brihannala. And Krishna thinks, hey Arjuna, probably you are still in that mode. Klaibyaha means impotent, enach, unmanliness. Klaibyaha literally means unmanliness. Probably you are still thinking you are in that Ajnata Vasa as a Brihannala. Klaibyam ma means no. Okay, don't yield to unmanliness. Don't be an unmanly person. You have already given up. Ajnata Vasa is over. Now you are Arjuna. Naitattvai upapadyate. Naitattvai upapadyate. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktavotishta parantapa. Get up. Uttishta. No, Vivekananda. Now there is a lot of talks about Vivekananda. Vivekananda rock, the second meditation has happened. Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran Nibodhata. This is a Upanishad Vakyam, often quoted by Vivekananda. Uttishtata, stand up, arise. Jagrata, stay awake. Prapyavaran Nibodhata, do not take rest until you have achieved your goal. This is a quotation from Upanishad that Vivekananda often quotes. Why? Because Krishna quotes here, Tyaktavo tishtha parantam, uttishta parantam. Hey, Arjuna, stand up, don't sit, come on. Kshudram hridaya daurbalyam tyakta. Arjuna, give up this weakness of heart, hridaya daurbalyam. Don't be a weak person. And again Arjuna starts to lament. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmamaham sankhe dronancha madhusudana ishubhih pratiyotsyami ujarhavari sudana. Again, just because Krishna is playing games with Arjuna. In the last shloka, Krishna referred to Arjuna as Parantapa, the scorcher of enemies. Right. I told you that just the word Parantapa conveys a lots of meaning. Even here, Arjuna is playing the same game as Krishna. Arjuna calls Krishna as Madhusudana, Arisudana. Madhusudana, Sudana means to kill. Madhu is a Rakshasa. Hey Krishna, you have got this name. Do you know what is your name? Madhusudana, the killer of Madhu. Madhu was a Rakshasa. Arisudana, Ari, Pujarha, Varisudana, Pujarha, Arisudana. Ari means enemies. You kill your enemies, Krishna. You kill all the asuras. But these people are not my enemies. These people are not asuras. Who are these people? Katam bhishmam aham sankhe dronancha madhusudana yishubhik pratiyosyami pujarha. They are worthy of my worship. How can I kill Bhishma and Drona? Pujarha. They are worthy of my worship. I have to do puja to them. Because one person, Bhishma, is my forefather. Matrudevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava. Veda says you have to worship your forefathers. Acharya devo bhava. What does Veda says next? Hey, you have to worship your Acharya. Bhishma is my forefather. Drona is my Acharya. You kill. You can kill because the people you have killed are Madhu, either Rakshasas or Ari, or they may be your enemies. Let them not be Rakshasas. You have personal enmity with them. You kill them. How can you expect same from me? These people are neither Rakshasas. These people are nor my enemies. These people are not even an innocent bystander. These people are worthy of my worship. Katam bhishmam maham sankhe dronancha madhusudana. I cannot kill all these people. Yeshubhih pratiyosyami, because they are pujarha varisudana. Guruna hatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshyamapi haloke atvarthakamamstu guruni haiva bhunjiya bhogan rudhira pradigdhan naichadvidmah kataranno gariyo yadva jayem yadiva no jayeyuhu yaneva hatvana jijivishamaha tevasthitah pramukhe dhardarashtraha. Now you can see the chandas, the meter of the shloka itself varies. So here, it is Anushtup Chandas, very easy to chant. Khatam bhishmamaham sankhe dronancha madhusudana yikshubhih pratiyotsyami pujarhavari sudana. Shuklam bharadaram vishnum shashivarnam chaturbhujam prasannavadanam dhyayet sarva vignopashantaye. Most of the shlokas will be in this meter. In Ramayana, 99.9% shlokas will be in this meter. Mahabharata, most of the shlokas will be in this meter. This is a housekeeping. In genes, we have housekeeping genes, but I have to explain that. Okay, this is the regular meter that everybody uses when writing any shlokas. In Sanskritam, we don't have punctuations. Okay. And this is a text. If you are watching it as a drama, for added emphasis, for added effect, what they will do when there is a very crucial moment, they will put music, right? யாராவது ஒரு சென்டிமெண்ட் சாரோ கரெக்டா வெள்ளிக்கிழமை சாயங்காலம் 6 மணிக்கு டிவியை போட்டா அப்படியே ஒரே அழுக மியூசிக்கா கேட்கும். வாய்ஸே கேட்காது, நம்ம மியூசிக் தான் நன்னா கேட்கும். So there are different ways to emphasize certain situation, right? If you are watching it, if you are watching a drama, then they put music. But this is not, you are not watching these things. These are just text. You'll read from it. Or you will hear people chanting it. How do you add emphasis on these shlokas? Sanskritam does not also have punctuation marks. Now people put punctuation, but it is later addition. Sanskritam does not have punctuation mark. If people want to emphasize certain actions, emphasize certain words, emphasize certain scenarios, what people do is that they will just change the meter. So when we chant these things, let me go to the previous shloka. Let us start chanting from 2.1. Sanjaya uvacha tam tatha kripaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishidantam vidam vakyam uvacha madhusudanaha Shri Bhagavan uvacha utastva kashmalam vidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajushtam asvargyam akirtikaram arjuna क्लैभ्यं मास्मगमः पार्थ न तत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्तोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहं संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हावरिसूदन गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान् नैचद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे दार्धराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नं न हि प्रपश्यामि ममानुपद्यात् यच्छोकमुच्छोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य वसपत्नमृद्धं राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपध्यं संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं गुडाकेशः परं तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः. See, so it was very calm before, and then these shlokas, something happens. So even people who are not finding attention, when the shlokas are being chanted, it is very normal that people will doze off here and there, or people will lose their attention. But when the chandas changes, okay, something happens, so people will, it will just grab the attention. That is what is the concept of having background music as well. When some important things are going to happen, they will change the pattern of background music. Why? Because they want to grab their attention, right? So this is the technique that our poets, our authors use, our rishis use to grab people's attention. It will be like very calm and serene and Anushtup Chandas. And then something happens, the Chandas will change. So, okay, now we'll know that, okay, this is a very crucial moment. So we have to pay attention. What Arjuna says, because Arjuna Vacha, Arjuna is going to say something very, very important. But what he says, we'll have to wait till next week because it is very important and time is up. We cannot complete all these things, all these shlokas. So we'll see in the next week. Harihi Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti Shanti